Here we are on Golden Globes morning, bright and early, gang. We have senior editors Daniel Montgomery, Denton Davidson, and Marcus Dixon. And I am news and features editor Ray Richmond. And we're here and we're outraged, I tell you. No, we're not. We're supposed to be outraged, but this is, we're going to start off a little outraged. We're going to start off talking about the film nominees for the Golden Globes for 2023. And let's just start off talking about the Best Motion Picture Drama, which we have Avatar, The Way of Water, Elvis, The Fabelmans, Tar, and Top Gun Maverick. Any surprise? Not really any surprises there.
No, I actually got this category correct. Women talking, though, the snub here, it was close. It was in our top 5 in our prediction center, and it wasn't a huge surprise that it missed here, but I think it was a huge surprise that it missed here and both supporting actresses for Jessie Buckley and Claire Foy. So for it to get, and Best Director for Sarah Polley, so for it to get ignored that much really says a lot. They clearly didn't like it, although it did get in for screenplay and score, but that was,
they clearly didn't like the acting.
They clearly,
there was good dialogue and no one good spoke it, apparently.
Right.
So, yeah, Sarah Polley got that screenplay nom, but yeah, none of the directors this year are female, which is kind of strange when you look back at the past 2 years. It seems like they were making strides with Chloe Zhao and Jane Campion both winning, and now to go from that to 0 nominations, it was a little bit jarring.
Yeah, and even worse, there are, like, Sarah Polley for Best Screenplay is the only woman nominated in either writing or directing, like, overall. Out of those 10 nominations, only Sarah Polley for Writing Women Talking. I thought for sure they would have nominated a woman for directing just because of the optics. Yeah. Just they would have put Sarah Polley on their ballot.
Not that I want to use the S word, but there's a little bit of a sexist bent to all of this, because if you look at the fact that Women Talking got snubbed with the acting noms, and then and the lack of women representing the screenplay and the directing list, that's that's a statement. Even though purportedly 51.5% of the Hollywood foreign press is female, so perhaps there's a little self-loathing going on too. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that is it. Anybody surprised about Brendan Fraser getting one for the Whale, despite his declarations that he's not going to the ceremony and his history with Philip Burke, etc.?
I don't think so, because he was such a front runner. I mean, it would have just been ridiculous to leave him off the list. I think they can leave Tom Cruise off the list for his, for him outwardly showing his disdain for them. But because Top Gun Maverick, it's hit or miss. He may or may not be nominated for an Oscar. So that's one that they can sort of snub and get away with. But I think Brendan Fraser would have been really hard to leave off the list.
Yeah, especially when you consider, Tom Cruise is easy to snub because his beef with the Golden Globes is just all that scandal, and he returned his Golden Globe. So it's like, okay, you're done with us, we're done with you. But Brendan Fraser, it would seem like retaliation for making a sexual misconduct allegation if they didn't nominate him because he's such a front runner this year. So that the stink on that snub would have been so egregious that NBC might have recanceled the Golden Globes again right there.
It's just weird that Brendan gets in here, but not at the Indie Spirits, which is, supposed to, highlight all of the smaller movies. And it's a mind-boggling one, but, he could easily win this. If not him, then look for Austin Butler to pull it off.
What do you see as the biggest surprises? I think that one of the bigger ones was in the animation category with Inu-Oh. We didn't even have that on our list as on our odds list for Gold Derby as a potential nominee at all.
Yeah, I mean, there's always something unexpected in the animation categories, thanks to G Kids, which I think that's a G Kids film.
It is.
So they and more power to G Kids, because I feel like they're bringing so much different kinds of animation and from all over the world into the awards conversation, and thus into more of the public consciousness.
I actually just checked. It was down in 17th place in our odds, but we did have it in our prediction center.
Oh, we did. Okay. I stand corrected.
For me, the biggest surprise, I think, was Danielle Deadwyler being snubbed for Till. I mean, she's someone who's been talked about as potentially winning the Oscar. So this was a huge snub. She was number 3 in our odds. So that's a big hit. Till got nothing.
Yeah, the fact that they put in Ana de Armas instead of Danielle Deadwyler is really surprising, which, I mean, if you're going to nominate something about Blonde, that's the one thing that's worth nominating about Blonde, because she is fantastic in the film, even though the film, I think, lets her down significantly. But still, it's still really surprising, given the way that film was received, that she still managed to nom. And even Empire of Light hasn't gotten the most glowing reviews, and Olivia Colman still managed to get in there. But they love her, so that's not too surprising.
The big movies in terms of nominations are the Banshees of Inisherin 8, Everything Everywhere All at Once 6, Babylon 5, and The Fabelmans 5. I think we kind of expected to see all of those do pretty well. Maybe Babylon is a bit of a surprise in how much they loved that, but never count out Damien.
Yeah, but for the most part, things went pretty much according to form. There weren't that many shocks. A few snubs, as we said. Any surprise about Angela Bassett getting a nomination?
Pleasantly surprised. I mean, I've been on the Angela bandwagon since I saw it in November, I think, early November, maybe late October. And like I said in another Slugfest, every time she came on screen, the audience went crazy for her. So that's when I knew there was love, but I thought maybe it was just the specific screening. But no, the Globes have nominated her. I have her in at SAG. I have her in at the Oscars as well.
She could maybe, I mean, win this. This category feels like it's a total toss-up. I also like that Carey Mulligan got in here. That was a pleasant surprise, because I love that movie, and it's not getting much recognition, but for her to get in, I was happy to see that.
Yeah, I loved it too, and I was surprised that she said got as little recognition as it did. But you're right, to see at least to see Carey Mulligan get in there was just. I'm just looking at anything else in the film area. The Daniels got in, of course. James Cameron got in for director. Baz Luhrmann they had to nominate for Elvis. Things went pretty much.
I mean, he was a surprise, and I had a feeling they would love Elvis, and they did. I think Elvis, I mean, that could be a spoiler. We're not sure how that's all going to play out. I wouldn't be shocked if Elvis won. Bohemian Rhapsody won the Globe, correct? Am I remembering right? Yeah. So if that can win, Elvis can win.
And then
I think that's definitely possible. The Fabelmans, I wonder if that's going to end up like The Post, where like it seems like, oh, it's the big, contender, the most nominations are, in the category, and then I think The Post won nothing. I wonder if the Fabelmans might suffer that same fate. Although I think Steven Spielberg probably is going to be hard to beat for director.
And for the film comedy picture race, I'm really happy to see Glass Onion in there. I'm a little disappointed RRR didn't show up. I have to imagine it was very close, because there's so much love for that film. But Gold Derby actually
it was actually eligible, because isn't it in foreign? Did it get in for foreign?
I think it is. It is.
Yeah.
It is. Yeah, it is in foreign, actually.
So maybe it wasn't eligible
for Glass Onion, though. So we had 3 of the Best Supporting Actress nominees that did not make it, and Janelle Monáe was one of those. So that was in our odds, definitely our worst predicting. And for supporting actor, Paul Dano in The Fabelmans and Ben Whishaw in Women Talking were the big snubs there.
RRR got in for Best Original Song as well, by the way.
So did Lady Gaga and Taylor Swift.
That's right.
And Rihanna.
Yes.
What a showdown.
That's one category where women actually did well.
So one of the men will win. They'll give it to
It'll
Chow
probably be
Papa.
RRR.
Okay, I think let's wrap up our film nominees discussion there.